But in my time, that's how people hooked up, was like the dude had to make the move, because if you didn't, it would never ever happen. There would be no population growth. No girl would ever kiss a dude ever. You think we like doing that shit? Do you think dudes like doing that? Do you think it would be a lot easier if the girl was just like, listen, hey you. If every girl that actually wanted to hook up with a dude, you know, in her mind, if she wanted to hook up with a dude, would just roll up and be like, hey, are you interested in taking my clothes off and fucking? Yeah, I am. Thank you for making it so not awkward. You think guys want to do this shit? All right, another day, another amazing story for Jesse on Fire. So Mike Tyson is now facing new accusations. It's like, so he's being accused of having committed another grape from early 90s, right around the time that apparently he got locked up for the other one, and it's just coming out now. She's suing him for $5 million. The details of the accusation sound like something that would happen. It just depends on how you interpret the facts that have been put forward. You know what I mean? Like, you know, those things, like when you read these stories from like a million years ago and you read them and you're like, well, I could see how this would be true. Like all of it be true, and it kind of be like, I mean, you know, like I feel like definitions have changed in a long time. And like 30 years ago, look, gosh, oh my God. Hey, didn't we just do a video about Conor McGregor beating up a girl and her having to dive into the ocean to save herself yesterday? Yeah, we did. And then after that, we did one where we were defending an accused sex trafficker and asking why he's in jail. Yeah, we did that yesterday too. And now we're going to defend and make fun of an accuser who's saying that she was potentially graped in the early 90s. Yep, you are a really good person, dude. Like, you're a really good person. Look at you. You're a really good person. I mean, I'm not a bad person. I just am saying the things that I think. Exactly, dude. And the things you think are going to have you defending an accused grape person. Good for you. I mean, I'm not Anyway, so we're going to get into this, right? Because of course, this video would come out today, or this story. And then before, though, there's no sponsor on this video, aside from the fact that if you have not subscribed to the channel yet and you're watching my content, you're breaking the rules. It's not, you know, like, and here's the thing. I look at the analytics. If you are a person who is hearing me say this every single video where I'm like, hey guys, just subscribe to the channel and then you have access to all of my stuff. Like, that's the cost. If not, you're stealing, and then you just keep doing it and not subscribing. You are in the minority. The vast majority of people subscribe. That's how my numbers shot up so high, right? That's how I got over 100,000 just like that, because people are good people. Don't be the outside. Do you want to be the outsider, the weirdo? You can, but it hurts my feelings. Anyway, so, and then also, I cannot believe I have to address this. This is super weird. But I saw this comment so many places on my own channel, and then I even saw it in Guru's stream last night. Did you see that Jesse on Fire is wearing a beanie in his videos now? I think he's either trying to troll you or he's trying to troll, is that like he's copying? Dude, what, really? It's freezing in Texas, okay? I go outside, I wear a beanie. My hair is nuked. I don't want to go do my hair, so I keep the beanie on when I film. I can't believe I had to actually say this. So there you go, you guys. That's why I'm wearing a beanie. I promise you're not going to see it in the summer, dude. Anyway, so let's jump into this thing. So I don't know if people have noticed, but like this channel, while categorized in the MMA, this combat sports channel, it's kind of not, like it's not really that. It's really, I strategically positioned myself that way so I could take stories from the combat sports space and talk about much bigger issues, right? Like that's really what I did. And I did it from the beginning. And in this case, we're going to do that, and as it evolves even more, I'm evolving kind of even, like I could talk about this now on Jesse on Fire, I don't know if you guys have noticed that I'm doing that. Oh, I could talk about this. Maybe it wouldn't have fit a year ago, but it fits now, it's becoming a more, like a wider selection of things I could talk about on this channel. That is by design. And so today, one of the things we're going to talk about is the differing, like something that happened in the 90s might have been cool, and not suddenly, 30 years later, it's like, ooh, yes, it's like now that's like a crime. It's like, really? Oh yeah, man, that's a crime. That is a serious crime. And the other thing too is like, in these stories, a lot of times, like you read the facts, and it's like I can read a series of facts from the accuser, and go, all right, well, listen, I can interpret this a very different way, right? Like the Kavanaugh accusation comes to mind. Like I remember reading the Kavanaugh thing for, because we're talking 30 years ago, right? Blasey Ford or whatever. Like I went up and I listened to her entire testimony and I'm like, dude, I know what was happening here. Let's just assume everything she said was true. They were joking around. It sounds like they were just joking around. Now, do I have tolerance for people who assault women? Of course not. Like not even a little bit. Like actual people who are really truly assaulting women? No, none. Die for that, right? Die for that. Then at the same time, I think that there is some social credit in saying that things are something when they're not. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a very complicated issue, right? But I think the focus that we're going to go here is I'm going to tell you the details of this case, and then let me just say what I'm thinking, okay? So one time I was reading a story about an accusation, about a guy who seems to me to be a relatively stand-up guy. His name is, Bill Walton's son, whoever, the guy, he was like the Lakers coach or whatever. And he had like one accusation against him. And I read the story, okay? And I was talking to this dude who I'm like friends with. And I remember I'm like, dude, if this is assault, then I should have been in the slammer long before I met Gabrielle. Because that's kind of true, right? And I looked at his face and he looked at me like he's all this. I was like, yeah. He's like, in this article right here, like, you think this is normal? And I was like, no. He's like, no or yes. I'm like, I think it's a no now. I think it might have been a yes, but it's definitely no now. I'm looking at your face. You're looking at me as if you just met me for the first time right now. So no, I guess it's not normal. Maybe I didn't read the same article as you. It's not normal at all. Completely not normal. It's terrible. He should go to prison for life. And I think this Tyson, well, at least the beginning of this Tyson story kind of falls into that category where it's like, I mean, what did you think was going to happen, sweetheart? I'll talk about the Tyson thing, then I'll come back to this Walton thing before you guys assume that I was I was going around like assaulting people before I met Gabrielle. So the Tyson story, I'm not laughing. If this really was like a super traumatic incident for her, it's like, I feel for you. But, it's been 30 years. So it's been 30 years. 30 years. 30 years. I'm just saying, at a certain point, give me a break, dude. So she said that it was the early 90s and they met at a club. You know what? I'll just read it to you guys really quick because it's not very long. She said that the woman alleges that Tyson met her in a nightclub in Albany, New York, and then attempted to grape her while they were in a limousine. As a result, she said she was forced to endure physical, psychological, and emotional injury in the years since. So in that part, it says attempted to grape. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, wait, so it wasn't even successful? I don't know. It did not provide a specific date of the attack, saying it happened around the same time the beauty pageant contestant Desiree Washington said that Tyson graped her. Oh, well, I guess that's a little problematic for me then, because if someone came out then and it was super famous, right, and it had happened to some, and then you clammed up for 30 years. I mean, anyway. So she said that the lawsuit from the unidentified woman was filed in New York under the state's Adult Survivors Act, which gives assault victims a 1-year window to take legal action over assaults that allegedly happened decades ago. So she's like, ooh, I've got 1 year. I got to get this one in. The affidavit says Tyson made physical contact with her and attempted to kiss her almost immediately after she entered the limousine. Oh, no way. He did that? Hold on. Wait. He tried to kiss you after you got in his limousine? Oh my gosh. What a shocking development. I mean, I would have assumed, that if I were a hot young girl and Mike Tyson invited me into his limousine, I would have been like, I assume we're going to play Monopoly, right? I'll be the car. You be the top hat. We'll play Monopoly, right? I mean, of course. Because, of course, he wasn't going to try to kiss you when you got into the limousine. What are you, 6? Of course he's going to try to kiss you when you get in the limousine. What are you talking about? What do you think he's inviting you in his limousine for? I mean, come on. Okay? I told him no several times and asked him to stop, but he continued to attack me. He then violently raped. Okay, so that obviously is something very different. So if he did that, yeah, that is repulsive, and he should pay the price for sure. If he violently removed her, whatever. But 30 years, dude, that's a long time. That is a very long time. And how on earth is someone so, like an arbitrator? They're like, hey, Mike. Okay, so we've got both parties. Mike, hey, you're 60 now or whatever, and you. So what day did this happen? She's like, I don't know. He's like, okay, you don't know. She's like, I don't know. It was right around like this time. Okay. All right. I'm not going to ask you why you didn't come forward before. So you don't know what day. What club was it? She's like, actually, it's this club that like hasn't existed for 28 years. It's called blah, blah. I don't really remember what street it's on. Okay. All right. Do you have any witnesses? She's like, no, it's just me and Mike in the limo. It's like, all right. And Mike, do you remember this person? He's like, no, I don't. But believe it or not, I don't remember this person. All right. So you don't, so your position is that you didn't grape. Yeah, I have never graped anyone, including the person that I went to jail for it. I did not grape her. All right. But you don't remember the specific incident. He's like, no, I have no idea who this is. So do you have any evidence that you like maybe were in that city at the time that this happened? She's like, no, like calendars and all that. They were all kind of, you write them down back then, as a matter of fact, actually, I did find this calendar. It has my mom's name on it, but it was actually mine. And I wrote down going to the club tonight by myself. And then the next day I turned it into a diary. It's like met Mike Tyson there and he did bad things to me in the back of his limousine. See, and you could tell this is legit, definitely from the 90s. They're all, so the only entries you have in this thing from the 90s are that you're going to this club and that Mike Tyson did that to you. So yeah, that's how you know it's legit. All right. Mike, do you have anything to say to that? I still don't know who this is. I still don't have any idea who this is. Mike, what do you say about giving her 20 grand? Okay. Will that do? Yeah, that'll do. Okay. All right. I've done my job. I'm an arbitrator. Give her $20,000 and I guess let's just be done with this whole thing. I hope you heal. I hope you heal, girl. Anyway, so I'm sorry, dude. Like, are you being flippant with girls' accusations? Kind of. Yeah, I am, dude. 30 years, dude. 30 years. So, yeah. And then, what was I going to say about? Oh, right. The Walton thing. Okay. So I just feel like the entire, I don't know, maybe like I've been married to Gabrielle for almost 15 years. We've been together for 17 years. Okay. I just want to put that out there. I've been with my wife for 17 years. Like, do you have any idea how long that is, dude? So like before that, maybe things were different, like going through like, oh, hi, new person. I'm going to try to hook up with you, whatever. Like maybe that's different, right? But in the years before that, like a girl comes to your hotel room, she knows like, yeah, he's probably going to try to hook up with me because why else would he be bringing me to his hotel room? And that was the Walton story. It's like this girl went to his hotel room and then he tried to kiss her. And she said, no, we shouldn't do this. And he's like, okay. Then he tried to kiss her again. She was like, no, I don't think we should do this. And then he tried to kiss her again. She's like, no, I really don't think we should do this. And she left. And she said that was like, she's like, that was, it was assault. I was like, oh man, I should be definitely in jail then. If that's assault, like that's it. He tried to kiss her. Like that's it. Like he was like trying to like grab her like hip and like bring her in to like kiss her. I was like, oh, prison for sure. Because I don't know, again, I'm out the game, son. But in my time, that's how people hooked up was like the dude had to make the move. Because if you didn't, it would never ever happen. There would be no population growth because no girl would ever kiss a dude ever. So that you think we like doing that shit? Do you think dudes like doing that? Do you think it would be a lot easier if the girl was just like, listen, hey you. If every girl that actually wanted to hook up with a dude, in her mind, if she wanted to hook up with a dude, would just roll up and be like, hey, are you interested in taking my clothes off and fucking? Yeah, I am. Thank you for making it so not awkward. You think guys want to do this shit? Okay. Like the dudes had to be the aggressor by design because nothing would happen otherwise. It's the worst. It's the worst thing ever. Oh God. Like, you know, you're like, I'm going to try to I hope she doesn't just make me feel like a weirdo. And then they're like, that's why when you like, that's why when you try to explain to someone, like, you know, when you try to say, you're like, okay, yeah. Like she was like, let's not do this. Like back then, you know, I don't know what the fucking rules are now, but back then I knew, like, if a girl was like, no, we're not doing this. I didn't try again with that. Like, you know, like a girl was like, no, guy, I'm not here for that, dude. You're like, oh, all right. And so you don't do it again, you know? Like, I'm not going to humiliate myself. But there is a huge, I realize, like, maybe now modern kids don't understand the difference between, like, guy, okay, look, I know I'm in your room, like, I'm not here for that. And we shouldn't do, okay, because the girl is trying to say to you, I'm not a whore, okay? Like, I'm going to do this, but just so you know, I'm not a whore. So I have to say this first, you know, but because you have a brain and you've done, you know, like you have a little bit of intuition, you can tell, I'm not really saying no, I'm saying no so you know, I'm not that easy, okay? Versus, I'm not here for that. And you're like, oh, all right, well, cool. I don't know if we can go back and this not be awkward, but I'm certainly not going to try that again because I feel like a fucking idiot now. I think I could still post this video. I really do, because I'm talking about things that happened 20 years ago, you know? And like I said, dude, nope, not here for that. Oh, all right. But lots of people are like, I don't know. I'm not a whore. I'm not a whore, but I am throwing a lot of signals at you that I definitely want to do this. So I've said no, just so that you know you can respect me afterwards. Okay, cool. You know, this is a big boy conversation, you guys. I don't know if this is how things happen now. You know, maybe if it's like, no, I don't want to do it. Then people are like, oh, okay, if I do this again, then I'm committing assault. You know, I am glad I don't have boys, dude, because I will teach my daughters. I will teach them like, nope, I'm not here for that. You know, like, trust me. And they're going to know exactly what all you little creep fuckers are after, okay? There's not going to be any mystery for them why they're getting in a fucking limousine with Mike Tyson, okay? Anyway, that's what I got. So I'm just going to throw this at the end of all of my videos. So I've been looking for ways that I can connect with my viewers better, like things that I can do that are interactive, right? I like talking to you guys. I like playing with you guys. I like you guys live stream. I love that stuff. And so I partnered with a daily fantasy company that is doing these like prop bet games where you basically are betting on, you know, will this guy have this stat over under, basically? You know, will this guy get at least one knockdown in this fight? Will this guy get at least 70, significant strikes? Will there be 40 significant strikes combined in the first round? All this stuff around, you know, UFC. Now, obviously, they do the same exact bet structure for NFL, NBA, etc. But for me, they're going to do these. You could do them, you know, on their own, but they're going to do these contests that are specifically for me and my fans. So it'll be Jesse on Fire. You guys will get to join. I will be in them. You know, we'll be playing against each other. I'm going to be live streaming so that I could talk to you guys. We can talk through the chat. The people who are in the contest, you guys can be, you know, like in the chat, like, you know, I'm going to be like, oh, so Moreno's in first. Which one of you guys is Moreno? And you could, you know, like all caps be like, that's me, son. And we'll be like, all right, well, if this guy gets a submission, you win, right? I'm going to do additional prizes. There, you know, the buy-ins are going to be small. Like this is not like about like you guys spending a bunch of money. Like there'll be like $5 buy-ins or something. And then, you know, there will be like the cash will go to winners and stuff, but that's just kind of entry fee. And then I'm going to do additional prizes on all of them. And the goal is to get 1,000 people into one of them. Now, it'll take a while, obviously. But when we get to one where we have 1,000 people in it, I will do a bananas prize. That is my promise to you guys. Whenever we get to 1,000 people in one of these contests, I will do a ridiculous prize. Like something outlandish. Better than just bring you to a UFC, like maybe, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe bring you to a UFC and we sit in the front row or something, you know, and it's free for you or whatever. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But yeah, so the link is in the description and you can sign up. They're going to do a deposit match for you. So if you put in $10, you'll get $20. It's up to $100. If you do $5, I think it's a $10 minimum and you get 20. Then if you do 15, you get 30. If you do 50, you get 100. If you do 100, you get 200. It's relatively straightforward. And you can mess around with the games now, and then when a UFC one is coming up, I will send you guys a link, and you guys can join the specific Jesse on Fire one. It'll be awesome. So you'll use the link in the description. Like I said, this is not about like juking a bunch of money out of you guys. So I think minimum is $10 to get started, and then when the contests start, we will get on it. It's gonna be super fun, and I'm gonna live stream, and you guys will be able to it's gonna be really fun. It's going to be really fun. And I'm really excited about this because I had this idea for my fantasy sports company, this exact idea, where I was like, let people play with their, their viewers or their fans or whatever. It's like, let them see your face while you're interacting with them. And now through another company, I get to do this myself. So I'm very excited about this. So anyway, jump in. Let's do this.